Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me today. And I'm going to kind of talk today a little bit about a hot topic that was relevant and aligned with a couple lanes that I work in. So you may have seen, really it was just a couple days ago, NBC, MSNBC, The Today Show, all were featuring a story on mica mining. M-I-C-A is how it's spelled. And it's basically a really common product, ingredient that is used in so many different aspects of our lives. Everything from automobiles and planes and trains to electronics. You probably have some in the phone that you might be watching this on right now on your computer. And then you're probably wondering, well, how does that relate? Mica is also used in the cosmetics industry. It is what is used in pressed powders and makeup to give you a little shimmer to that. And so it also impacts the beauty industry. So this is not the normal is that a bad ingredient or something like that? It's not necessarily a problem ingredient in that way. But when you start digging into the supply chain of where it comes from, that's when you can run into trouble. So the story that was featured on NBC was looking specifically at mines that are in Madagascar. So this was a year-long investigation. And what they found in Madagascar in general, there are about 265,000 children that are working, and 10,000 of those are working in mica mines specifically. And so they are working usually as a family. They might go out with their mother or father. And if you watch the piece, literally mothers are going down into these 50-foot mining wells, I think they're called, or pits or something like that. Mica pits where they go down in there. The children are literally, they were toddlers and infants, swaddled to their backs, and they go down. And so they're exposed to all of that, and the children are actually workers. It's crazy. So to give you an example, like these families might do 2.5 months of work, mine 6 tons of the mica, which is then 90% of that is going to China. That's like where the biggest demand is. And for that 6 tons, it was usually about 9 people working on that. They'll get, for that 2.5 months of work, $240 per person, of then which half is taken back by the leader that goes to their food. And their food is like a cup of rice per family. Like, it's crazy. So the crazier part is they're paid so little, and then the markup when it goes to China, by the time it even gets to before it's even shipped, it's already like a 500% markup. Crazy. So one of the things that we have done that I'm super proud of, because, I love the education, advocacy, and the planet part. This is part of Beauty Counter's B certification. So we're B Corp certified. So that's, remember that they put people and planet equal with profit. So some of the things that we have done in our ingredient selection process that we use, the 4th step of that is to source responsibly. So that meant figuring out, who's the best supplier for mica, and can you trace their source? Because that's the problem. So even in the piece, they were talking to a company that uses mica in trains. And they brought this story to them. And of course, they were completely unaware that it's happening. They didn't support it and all the things. But unless you're investigating that and the company is doing that work, you have no idea. So a couple things. We have taken that deeper dive into our supply chain, and so mica is typically a globally sourced material. You can get it in lots of areas, but we've chosen to source domestically. You can get it from a supplier rate in Hartwell, Georgia, so not far from here. And we basically have worked with them to ensure that those practices are sustainable for the mining process and the processing itself. So not only that, but we have had staffers go in and visit the mines, literally go to where this mica is being mined for the supplier, and followed it through the manufacturing stages to make sure that we are sourcing responsibly throughout the entire process. So there are different types of mica. So a good bit of it we get from this supplier in Georgia, but we also have to go global at times so we can have more variety and, get these amazing palettes and things that we create. So we have partnered with a Nobel Peace Prize winning individual that basically has kind of called this out, and how that they're focusing on child labor, like not making that a non-issue, like we do, not supporting that and trying to get that changed. So that's like one piece. And then we're using some technology to figure out, like, when you actually buy an item in the future, you're going to be able to see where, like, literally the source of where all of those ingredients came from. So it's fantastic. And it's just brought, this is something like, no, I wouldn't even have thought of. I knew it was in some of our products. I didn't even know. It's actually used as an insulator in electronics and things like that. So like your phone doesn't get too hot or whatever. I had no idea, like the how wide and far that this is spread and how often it's used and how much is needed and all the things. So it was just super eye-opening to me. I was literally, tears were in my eyes when I was watching this thing and seeing these little toddlers, like sitting there, banging the mica, breaking it apart, going down into the pits with their moms. It was crazy. These kids don't go to school. It's just heartbreaking that that's all they know. This one little boy was 10 years old and he had already worked in the mines for 2 years. And that's what he does day in, day out. They work from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's just insane. So my question today to you is, do you know, where the things that we're buying, and it's just opened my eyes to so many other lanes. I think about this with clothing and things like that. Like, where is this really being made? And I'm really trying to be more, paying more attention to, am I supporting a company that is doing the right thing? Do they have a B Corp certification? Do they share that transparently with how their items are made? You probably have seen this recently. There's an investigation being done now on Lululemon, which is a really popular athletic brand. That was in the news maybe a week or two ago. And some of their employees are saying the same thing, that they are not being paid fairly. They're being both physically and verbally abused in the workplace. And so, and they're investigating it. So, I don't know if all of that's going to come, that it's actually happening. But those are the kind of things that made me immediately think, oh, well, I know that like Athleta is a B Corp, so I'm guessing that they are on top of this a little bit more. So I'm going to make sure I spend my money at Athleta, not at Lululemon. So, it's just, the more I just learn, know better, do better. That's all I can say. So, just, kind of another watch out, like think about where, where the things that you purchase are coming from. I learned back in the spring, there's a whole like fast fashion, we buy, we're so excited to get the deal or whatever. And we buy like this cheap item and it might not last very long or whatever. And it's really becomes disposable, and how just our landfills and our trash and everything just becomes so cluttered with all of this like fast fashion and stuff that's not great for the planet. It's not made from good materials and things that are recyclable. And it just becomes trash. So, it makes more sense to me now. I'm trying to be more diligent about, and believe me, it's hard because I like to shop, but, trying to invest in a quality piece that is maybe more expensive to begin with, but it's going to last the test of time. It's going to be something that I love and use for years. So just wanted to share that today. It's a little bit tricky of a topic. I'll post the link to the Today Show piece and also to the Beauty Counter piece so that you could see, what to pay attention to and what to look for. So if you have questions, as always, reach out. And happy Wednesday. Thanks for watching. And the other thing I'll just mention quick too is watch out, because Black Friday may be looking a little different this year and coming a little bit earlier. So stay tuned for more. Talk to you soon. Bye.